Hi, OJ. If there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that bringing a stranger into your home can either bless you or break you. I thought hiring a house help would make life easier, like it was in my mother's days. But instead, my own compound had become a battlefield of secrets, sicknesses, and shadows. Some came with laziness, others with lies, and a few with something more darker I still cannot explain. From mysterious illnesses that drained my savings to footsteps on the ceiling at midnight, and house helps who acted like they were in a trance. I've seen things that made me question whether I was living with humans or hosting spirits. OJ, sometimes I wonder if my own compound has become a testing ground for spirits. I say this because every house help who has entered my gate has carried something with her. Sometimes laziness, sometimes lies, and other times some things I cannot explain with my human logic. It began years ago when I thought getting a house help would bring me peace of mind. My mother had always kept one, and though I remembered her occasional complaints, I never saw the battles behind her sighs until I faced them myself. I thought it was a matter of slavery and feeding, giving them food, paying them something small, and life would continue smoothly. But OJ, I soon learned that employing a house help is not just work, it is warfare. The first one came from a family friend's village. She seemed simple enough, but laziness was in her bones. I would leave the house in the morning and return in the evening to find clothes soaked in water since dawn, and she would still be lying down. I scolded, encouraged. I even prayed over her, but nothing changed. She left without notice, and I counted it as a bad luck. The second one came with charm, always smiling, always polite. But within weeks, I noticed money disappearing from my drawer. 20 cedis here, 50 cedis there. When I confronted her, tears flowed like river water. She swore she borrowed it to buy food, soup, and some small provisions. Out of pity, I let her stay, never deducting the money because in my heart, I thought her wages were already too small. But, OJ, the stealing never stopped. What left my home was more than she ever earned, and I began to wonder whether she was sent with a different assignment. Then came the one that nearly finished me. She was young, timid, fresh from SHS. She knew nothing about work, but she had a good spirit, or so I thought. In just 3 days, she had befriended my dogs, which was rare. I thought, finally, God has answered my prayers. But within a week, sicknesses knocked on her like a debt collector. She would collapse during her monthly flow, refuse food, and grow pale as paper. I bought iron pills, multivitamins, even took her to the clinic with my own susu money. I pitied her. I cooked for her. I even mopped when she couldn't stand. Then came the phone issues. She told me her neighbor's houseboy had stolen her phone. I confronted him in anger, and the boy shocked me. He said I should not interfere in the matters of two people who knew themselves very well. That sentence struck me like thunder. Who was lying? Who was using me as a shield? I began to doubt everything, but the real storm broke weeks later when she collapsed again, bleeding heavily. Doctors mentioned miscarriage, others whispered abortion. She denied it all, swore on heaven and earth. I spent and spent. Money I had kept for projects vanished into hospital bills. One night, she finally confessed. She had taken pills to clear something inside. My spirit broke. I realized I had been pouring life into a vessel that was draining me dry. By the time she left, over 20,000 Ghana cedis had vanished, and my peace of mind was gone with her. Just when I thought I had seen it all, the Nigerian girl came. OJ, that one is the reason I am telling you this story. She arrived looking innocent and pure. She worked diligently, respected my rules, and for the first time, I thought maybe, just maybe, peace had entered my home. Even my dogs accepted her quickly, something they never did. But then strange things began. She told me she heard running footsteps on the ceiling at night. I laughed at first. It's rats, I said. But her face remained pale, her voice trembling. Days later, I caught her at the gate. She had given water and banana to a stranger outside. When I asked her, she looked at me with a blank eye and said she didn't remember. People in the salon nearby began whispering, "Be careful. Some of these girls are not ordinary. They can change form at night." I didn't want to believe it. I told myself, OJ, these are old wives' tales. But then I started hearing the footsteps myself. I saw shadows moving across my ceiling when no one was there. Once, I woke up to find the front door wide open, though I had locked it with my own hands. She swore she didn't touch it, and her stories never matched. Each time I asked, she gave me a different account. It was then I realized not every house help comes to serve food or sweep floors. Some are carrying invisible battles. Some bring their demons to sleep in your guest house. And if you are not prayerful, OJ, you will find yourself entangled in a war you never signed up for. Today, when I hear those viral stories of house help caught on camera, spitting in food, slapping children, or whispering at midnight, I no longer dismiss them. I have seen enough to know that wickedness and witchcraft sometimes wear aprons and tie headscarves. And that is why, to this day, when I hear footsteps in my compound long after midnight, I don't rush to the window. I sit still, whispering prayers, because I know I am not only living with humans. This is your anonymous OJ, and if you are new here, I would like you to like, subscribe, share, comment, and hype this channel, and tell somebody about your anonymous OJ. I'll see you in our next conversion.